In 1987, a government made a decision no nation had ever dared before. Overnight, money was erased, not devalued, not replaced, erased, and what followed was one of the most chaotic economic breakdowns ever documented, hidden behind official silence and buried in forgotten archives. This is the story of a nation that believed it could reset its entire financial system by destroying the very thing that held it together. A bold experiment meant to expose corruption, eliminate hidden wealth, and purify an economy that had long been struggling. It was presented as justice, but carried out in complete secrecy. And when morning arrived, millions of people discovered that everything inside their pockets had turned worthless. On paper, the plan looked revolutionary: abolish the old currency, introduce a new one, and force every citizen to exchange their cash through banks. Corrupt officials and criminals, it was said, would be unable to convert their fortunes without revealing themselves. But behind closed doors, the truth was far less idealistic. There was no infrastructure prepared for a national currency replacement. The new bills weren't printed in sufficient quantity. No distribution network was ready, and most dangerously, the public had no warning at all. People woke up into an economic void. Workers who had saved their wages in cash because banks were unreliable lost everything overnight. Families rushed to banks only to find empty lines, confused staff, and no new currency available. Entire streets filled with anxious crowds, waiting for something, anything that could explain what had just happened. Rumors traveled faster than official announcements. Some believed the country was under attack. Others thought the financial system had collapsed entirely. Meanwhile, the very groups this plan was supposed to target were already finding loopholes. Those with connections quietly exchanged their old money through backdoor networks. Shadowy brokers appeared, offering secret swaps at extreme rates. While ordinary citizens begged for answers, the powerful quietly protected their wealth. A policy designed to punish the corrupt ended up punishing everyone else instead. As the days passed, the situation grew darker. With no reliable currency in circulation, the black market surged back to life. Traders invented their own prices. Foreign currencies slipped across borders, becoming more valuable than the nation's official money. In rural regions, barter systems from another century returned. People traded rice for medicine, fuel for clothing, anything to survive. And in cities, basic goods became more expensive than ever. There was no money, yet somehow everything cost more. Inside government offices, panic spread. Internal reports warned of social unrest, economic paralysis, and irreparable loss of trust. Officials who had once promoted the idea began distancing themselves from it. Within weeks, the experiment had fallen apart. Quietly, with no public apology, the government reversed the policy. Banks were told to accept old currency again. New bills, once celebrated as symbols of reform, disappeared as quickly as they had arrived. But the damage was done. An entire population had watched their savings vanish, then return, as if controlled by invisible hands. Trust in institutions dissolved. The informal economy became stronger than the official one, and the belief that the state could safeguard the future crumbled. The government never acknowledged the failure publicly. Newspapers barely mentioned it. And for decades, this event remained a silent scar, an economic disaster erased from memory, just like the money itself. Yet history always leaves traces. Hidden in archival documents and whispers from those who lived through it, the truth resurfaces. When a nation tries to delete money, it deletes far more than currency. It deletes confidence, stability, the invisible contract between a state and its people. I'm not here to judge the policy, only to follow the shadow it left behind. This was the night a country tried to delete money and ended up deleting certainty itself. You've been watching Econ Noir, and remember, in economics, every secret leaves a trail.